Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Dr. Fauci says he expects the Johnson & Johnson vaccines to resume later this week. The shot could have new restrictions based on age or gender.
I was very happy because I wanted to show my art and get out into the community more.
2 local high schoolers create a festival to show off young artists and musicians after a year full of canceled events.
And First Lady Jill Biden will be making her way to the state line in less than 24 hours. We'll tell you where she's heading and the reason behind it. Good evening, I'm Alexis Carpello.
And I'm Michele. Rave. Dr. Anthony Fauci predicts public health experts will lift the pause on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine by the end of this week, but say new warnings may be attached to it.
Officials recommended the temporary delay in the shot's usage last week after a possible link to a handful of cases of rare blood clots. Washington correspondent Jessie Tenor reports on the vaccine's fate as she's keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
The CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee will examine data related to those concerns on Friday. Fauci says there are still questions that need to be answered before then.
I doubt very seriously if they just cancel it. I don't think that's going to happen.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the White House's chief medical advisor, expects the return of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
I don't think it's just going to go back and say, okay, everything's fine, go right back. I think it'll likely say, okay, we're going to use it, but be careful under these certain circumstances.
Those types of warnings could include exclusions based on a person's age or sex, following the shot's possible link to a small number of rare blood clots. But Fauci says he doesn't want to get ahead of the FDA and CDC assessments.
When you talk to our colleagues in Europe, particularly in the UK, it isn't only women. There are men involved, and it isn't always associated with birth control by any means. So I think we have to be careful.
But Mark Short, the chief of staff to former Vice President Mike Pence, argues the pause of the vaccine is much more dangerous than the shot itself.
It's 1,000 times more likely to suffer blood clots from a birth control pill, yet we're pausing it at a time when we can need to continue to deliver the vaccination.
Short worries the temporary delay will only increase skepticism among Americans.
You're going to create hesitancy from people who should be getting the vaccination who now have doubts.
But Fauci says the pause is vital not only to further examine the vaccine, but to raise awareness among providers of the proper treatment. The Pfizer and Moderna CEOs have said it's likely people will eventually need a third shot. But Fauci says that's ultimately a decision to be made by public health officials, not pharmaceutical companies. In Washington, I'm Jessie Tenor.
Illinois health officials released the COVID cases for today. Over 2,600 residents test positive, bringing the state's total over 1.3 million. 10 more residents have died due to the virus. The statewide rolling positivity rate sits below 5%. Region 1's positivity rate is up to 7%. Winnebago County is sitting just under 9%. All 3 counties dropped their rates, Boone, Lee, and Stevenson. The number of patients being treated in local hospitals for COVID-19 in Region 1 is up 120 residents. Illinois tops 8 million people receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. Yesterday, over 115,000 doses were administered. The weekly rolling average for vaccines daily is over 125,000.
Tomorrow, the First Lady will be traveling to the state line in efforts to help kids transition to the classroom. This is Dr. Jill Biden's first trip to Illinois as First Lady. She'll be joined by Education Secretary Miguel Cardona. They'll be making a stop at Sauk Valley Community College in Dixon. The pair have been touring schools nationwide to advocate for kids returning to classrooms. The COVID-19 pandemic impacted many of our local students, canceling dances, sporting events, and shows.
I got the chance to speak with 2 seniors who thought quickly on their feet and created their own music and art festival to showcase local artists' work.
So we were like, why don't we give people an opportunity to share what they love and their talents?
Claire Laboche and Whitney Kirk are seniors at Oregon High School.
I've been in band for 8 years. I played the flute and the piccolo, and I've been in choir for 8 years. I sing.
As seniors, they are required to do a special project before they graduate, but the COVID pandemic canceled the students' original plans.
Music has always been a huge passion of mine. Claire loves it, and yeah, just a lot of things got canceled. In choir, we have to stand 8 feet apart, you know, it's hard. Well, we had to do a senior capstone project this year, and Originally we were going to go a different route, but
it didn't end up working out.
Yeah, and so then we realized, because we're both in music, we're both music students, and we've missed out on a lot of opportunities because of COVID and stuff like that.
So they had to think quickly on their feet and decided to create their own art and music festival, featuring work from students and people from the community.
I was very happy because I wanted to show my art and get out into the community more. To see that Claire and Whitney have put up this project, it gives me a chance to show pieces that I didn't get to show at the competition.
Jillian Higgins is an Oregon alum and says COVID canceled her opportunity to showcase her work. However, this time around, she can.
I did this as a tribute piece to Walt Disney because my dream is to be a storyboard artist for Disney eventually one day.
Overall, the students were able to showcase art from 16 artists, and 8 musicians were able to play their music throughout the day.
It has been a lot of hard work, but I'm just glad that we are able to give these people a chance to share their talents and their passions.
The students tell me all donations that are collected from today's art festival will be used to fund the arts program at Oregon High School.
A safety commission releases new warnings for people to stop using a Peloton treadmill.
This comes a month after the company reveals a child died in an accident involving the workout equipment.
Temperatures for us this afternoon made it into the low to mid 60s. 64 degrees was our high for us today, but things are going to be cooling off later in the week. I'll have more on the cool down and when we could see the 60s return, all coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Alexis Carpello, David Greenberg, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
The Consumer Regulatory Agency issues an urgent warning about a Peloton treadmill.
The popular product linked to nearly 40 incidents, 24 involving children. ABC's Zareen Shaw has the story.
Shocking new video of a terrifying Peloton treadmill incident. Watch in the blink of an eye as a 2-year-old plays with the ball when suddenly the ball and his arms get sucked under the moving 455-pound machine. He struggles getting himself out as the top half of his body gets dragged underneath before he finally escapes. Today, the Consumer Product Safety Commission releasing that video and issuing an urgent warning, telling consumers with children to stop using the Peloton Treadmill Plus immediately. This after 39 reported incidents, 24 of them involving kids. One child was killed. A commission spokesperson tonight demanding Peloton recall the treadmill, stressing Peloton's problem is different.
A lot of injuries happen with treadmills, but not like this being sucked underneath the treadmill. We're talking about 39 instances where people, children, or objects have been sucked underneath the treadmill.
Tonight, Peloton resisting calls for a recall, releasing a statement calling the commission's accusations inaccurate and misleading. Peloton says the Tread Plus is safe when guidelines are followed and urges consumers to keep pets and kids under 16 away from the machine at all times. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
David Greenberg will be in later with sports.
A former NASCAR Cup champion makes his IndyCar rookie debut. Would his prior success transfer over?
Plus, snow could be on its way. Candice will tell us more in her first warm weather forecast next. You're watching Eyewitness News at 5.
Now, your first warm weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Well, I hope you were able to go out and make the most of this weekend. Actually, pretty nice out there. A little more cloud cover for us this afternoon, but temperatures both yesterday and today made it into the lower 60s. 64 degrees, our official high. Now, we have had some cumulus clouds kind of bubble up here over the last couple of hours as a weak disturbance passes down to our south. A live look with our Merciel Skytrack camera out over downtown Rockford shows more of a mix of sun and clouds, which a lot of us have seen for much of this afternoon. There have been, however, A couple of light rain showers that have tried to show up on radar, but really none of that reaching the ground outside of a sprinkle or two. 61 our temperature in Freeport, 62 here in Rockford. Jim in Rockford checking in at 64. Ken in Belvedere at 59, and Bob in South Beloit also checking in with 61, and 61 our current temperature in Janesville. Winds have picked up a little from the southwest, but it's that southwesterly wind that gave our temperature a nice little boost into the 60s. But a cold front coming in tomorrow morning will bring a cooler air mass down across much of the region that'll last here for the next couple of days. That could even bring a more rain-snow mix Monday night and then into Tuesday. Likely some accumulating snowfall, but that right now looks to stay mostly to our south. You see some of those lighter rain showers popping up, especially to our east and southeast, but we have had some breaks in some of the cloud cover for us this afternoon. We look a little bit further up to the northwest, and there's that cold front working down across the upper plains and the upper Midwest. That is what is going to slide through during the morning hours tomorrow. So tonight is going to be a mild night. Temperatures will only dip down to about 40 degrees, but tomorrow highs will struggle to stay in the lower 50s. So a little cooler than what we've been accustomed to here, at least these last couple of days. And that chill is going to stick around. In fact, high temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday will stay in the 40s. And there you have it. It is likely we are going to see some snow that'll develop mostly to the south across central Illinois, where a couple of slushy inches could fall. Locally, a dusting maybe up to an inch on grassy surfaces. So let's go ahead and time this out. Here's that cold front coming in tomorrow morning. Notice we could see a quick passing shower as a result of that, along with some cloud cover as we go throughout the day, and then a few light showers, especially to the south once that cold front passes during the afternoon. Winds tomorrow will be coming in from the west and northwest. A little bit of clearing, but not much, because you see as that colder air takes hold, well, now we've got some blue showing up on our future cast to our south early Tuesday. So a little bit of a rain-snow mix possible. And then the potential for some lighter snow showers at times mixed in with a couple of rain showers. Again, nothing that I think is really going to slow us down, as the bulk of that looks to occur mostly to the south as we head throughout our Tuesday. But it is going to be windy Tuesday afternoon, so that is definitely going to put a bit of a chill into the air, especially when we're talking temperatures that'll be in the 40s. It'll feel more like the 30s, so winter gear will be needed. 40 degrees, that's where we end up for tonight. You've got mostly cloudy this evening, and then partly to mostly cloudy sky overnight. Winds will remain from the southwest, but tomorrow they'll shift around to the west and northwest, and gust at times at around 25 miles per hour. Temperatures right around 51 degrees for the afternoon. Here's that 7-day forecast. We do drop down to 41 degrees on Tuesday. It is likely we could see a hard freeze Tuesday night with that temperature down to 28. So keep that in mind. 47 on Wednesday. We're back into the 50s, drying out by the end of the week. And there you go. In just a week's time, that temperature could get back up near 60.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
Well, it's been two different stories to start this season between the north and the south side. As the Cubs have struggled tremendously, the White Sox have done well. Today, they were out in Boston for a makeup doubleheader against the Red Sox. Here's Tim Anderson to lead off the game. On the first pitch of the day, he puts a drive into one to right center field, and that's going to leave the yard for an early 1-0 Sox lead. Yasmani Grandal's up in the fourth here with a man on first. That's hit well, deep to center. It'll go off the wall. Jose Abreu is chugging around the bases, and he'll slide in safely. That puts the Sox up 2-0 in the fifth for Yohan Moncada. He smokes a base hit into right. That brings home another run. Liam Hendricks came in for the save as the White Sox win game 1, 3-2. The Cubs will finish up their series against the Braves from Wrigley. Kyle Hendricks on the bumps against Bryce Wilson for the Braves. This one is in prime time. First pitch set for 6 p.m. As the Blackhawks try and fight for the fourth and final playoff spot in the Central, every game is that much more important. Last night, with the help of Patrick Kane, who had a goal and an assist, as well as a strong backing of goaltender Malcolm Subban, who was filling in for Kevin Lankinen, the Blackhawks blanked the Red Wings 4-0. A win means that much more, as they can now take that momentum into their crucial series with Nashville starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think obviously Everyone knows where we are at in the standings, and to win this game how we did, 4-0, battled the whole game. It's great going into this 3-game series we have with Nashville. And
Subi was excellent for us. Solid, made the saves he had to, and he had a couple of real nice ones. You know, obviously we got what we needed tonight, and it sets up pretty important games coming up.
The Bulls have been on a 5-game losing skid. That is until last night's 106-96 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are still without Zach LaVine as he's quarantining under the league's COVID protocols. Nikola Vucevic led the way last night with 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Kobe White finished with 9 assists. Lauri Markkanen also had 16 points off the bench. Despite all 5 of the Cavs starters finishing in double figures, the Bulls were able to squeak out a win, one they very much needed. Afterwards, Billy Donovan discussed White and Markkanen's development.
You know, it's not about their particular development or where they were drafted or, you know, all that stuff. It's about, like, are you impacting the group in a positive way? And I think those guys, you know, going through what they've gone through, being starters, not starters, both those guys, I think, hopefully have continued to grow and develop in that area of how they can impact the game.
The 7-time NASCAR Cup champion Jimmie Johnson made his rookie debut in the IndyCar Series opener today at the Honda Grand Prix down in Birmingham, Alabama. Johnson started towards the back of the grid in 21st place. There was a massive crash during the race, but as Johnson's done hundreds of times throughout his NASCAR days, he showed us he's a pro at maneuvering through those big wrecks. He ended up finishing 19th in his debut. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Well, things will be pretty quiet for us this evening. Still a little breezy out there and starting to cool those temperatures off just a bit. Most of us still in the lower 60s. We'll see that number drop down to about 40 degrees tonight. Some clearing with that cloud cover we had from earlier today. Skies will then turn partly to mostly cloudy heading into the overnight tonight. Temperatures down around 40 degrees. Tomorrow it is going to be cooler. You will need the heavier jacket. Highs near 51. There could be a light shower before sunrise tomorrow, and then a mostly cloudy sky for the afternoon with that breezy west and northwesterly wind. A little rain snow mix possible Monday into Tuesday. Temperatures cooling off in the 40s middle of the week.
Thanks for making us your home team.
Have a good night.